Hey, what's happening? How we doing? Good morning, good evening, good day, wherever you at. Man. It's good. Glad y'all at the table. Glad y'all brought some organic topics. We got a lot to dig into today. But first off, I just want to say, it's good seeing y'all. Um, Man, as I always state on this channel, we got to stay dangerous, and it's not about being militant, but it's about being tactical. It's about being strategic. Life is like a game of chess. Make decisions out of emotion, you end up losing. And I just see a lot of decisions that are just it's crazy out here. And like one of them is gonna be the Ma'Khia Bryant, and this whole ordeal is just it's really it's a lot. And the thing about policing in this country is, especially being black, you know, what uh D.L. Hughley said, white people see the police and they say, "Oh, protector, helper." Black people see the police and they like, "Fuck." And so it's not a funny matter. This is trauma, and the situation with Ma'Khia is interesting because, man, obsessive force is always like the resort when it comes to Black lives and when it comes to reaction in situations. Like people, like we've seen Black people from young ages in videos knocking people out. The images of Black people in media just being brawny and very masculine is, that's why they feel threatened by us. In the media we come off as pit bulls, and so the only way to put us down is to shoot us. And so Ma'Khia Bryant, though, interesting thing with that situation, calls the police, been bullied by these group of teens, and when cops arrive, she has a knife on her, and she goes to react towards the person who's beating her ass and ends up getting shot. And so it is a situation of, was the cop in the wrong? Here's my take on it. The cop was in the wrong, but the cop was in the right by how he reacted. But he was in the wrong in how he, the whole situation is a clusterfuck. No other way to put it. You're just trying as a cop to protect the bodies and the casualties. And this stabbing, it could have been in a jugular. It could have been fatal. 4 shots, that's a lot of shots. Again, it could have been the taser that he could have used. Why is it that, people afraid to get nicked? People act like, that's the thing. Like, we don't have brawny men, policing. We don't have, we don't have brawny men. We don't have brawny women, or we don't have women who are, and I'm not saying that women aren't intelligent, but like this goofball lady who shot Dante up in Minnesota. It's like, we don't have people who have just the intelligence to be holding guns. And so we really need to learn de-escalation. De-escalation, man, when it comes to just situations in life, all of these instances, really what it comes down to is ego. At the end of the day, you have a cop with a gun. You have a nigger with black skin, and he's like, "Oh, you think you gonna tell me I can't go home?" And you have this cop saying, "Oh, you think you gonna talk to me like that with this gun in my?" And it's all ego. And so, how do we ever win? how do we ever win? And especially when the power dynamic in this country has always been, you know, you've always had this, I haven't. You've always been put in this situation. How dare you talk to me? It's ego, but there's also trauma. And so we have many cases going on right now. We have a dude in Oklahoma, commentator at a game who calls the high school students nigga and blames it on his diabetes. Man, there's a million excuses as to why, white people can be racist, but there's no explanation as to why black people always endlessly end up dying. I don't fucking get it. And so that's why I say stay fucking dangerous. Stay dangerous. You know, dangerous is de-escalating. Dangerous is being tactical, being strategic. Yeah, man. You know, bullets were flying in Indianapolis. It wasn't even from Peyton. It's like you can't even go to work without wondering if, it's your last day at work. And like my prayers go out to the the Islamic community, who was affected by that tragic event. And it's just it's one thing after another. Gun control, man. I gave you power. I gave you power. I made you buck wild. These chickens gonna come home to roost. And man, when them cocks cock back, man, it ain't no playing, you heard me? So it's just, we living in wartime. You look around, it's just like shooting here, shooting there, black person shot here. You gotta pay attention. You also gotta keep your mind clean. And so, how are you staying dangerous? Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I really want y'all to marinate with that. I want y'all to think about what we got going. It's just wild out here. Next topic that I got, man, is really cool. Like the NFL right now is just, they nothing but a bunch of fucking I gotta watch my leg. Fuck it, man. They a bunch of motherfucking pieces of shit cocksuckers, man. It don't make no sense how these motherfuckers. Yeah, we gonna get into that one. So yeah, we just coming off the birthday week. Still, birthday is every day in my eyes. Every day is a day to receive a present, a day to not only receive a present, but to realize that you are alive. And so, it ain't about getting old. It's about not even wisdom at this point. It's just about progression. And it's nothing like progressing. That is the ultimate present in life, more than material, because there's always going to be a new BMW every year. There's always going to be a new Audi. But man, ain't nothing like having a new outlook. Ain't nothing like having a new level, a new asset. It's just amazing. And so, how are you elevating? That's what I'm gonna ask. But I just got a great conversation for us today, and one is, Master P's son. He's going to Tennessee State, man. It was such a beautiful interview on the Breakfast Club to see this young man talk about how he's gonna go to a black HBCU, to play football, and it brings up a great conversation here in America, and the dynamic of, just these big corporations and these players and how much leverage they have when it comes to just their marketability, the money that they bring to universities. Black people, it just amazes me how much power we hold. The other day, I was looking at this big building and I was laughing because low-key I was salty. I was like, this is probably some corporation where, it's all these, white people with all this money and, just running things, and, people that look like me with locks and, young with innovative ideas. They kind of shun away, they want the more experienced, polished, candidate. But what they fail to realize is that, you look at companies like, Best Buy and all these different companies, when it comes to their advertising, it's always, black. It's always geared towards hip hop. They hip hop makes so much money and people want to be hip because being hip is in the know and hop is to go everywhere. And so when it comes to just businesses in this country, the NFL is one of like the biggest businesses, and to see someone like Master P's son, Deion Sanders, go to a HBCU over a white university, a historically white university, I gotta bring up a crazy point. Ricky Williams, in the latest Vlad interview, he talks about how the first black football player at the University of Texas wasn't until 1974. It might be 72, but the fact of the matter is it wasn't until the 70s. The 70s. The 70s that a black player was able to play at the University of Texas. That means when my pops was in high school, they was saying, look, nigga, you can't even come here. Shouts out to my pops too. But I want all the people out there that watch this to realize this is real. We could act like, racism was yesterday, but my dad was called a nigger. My mom went to the school that was Brown versus Board of Education. So, you look in my blood, you look in my lineage, yeah, you see some real shit. Ding. So, it's beautiful, man. I love seeing the dynamic, because what this is gonna do when Cap takes that knee, it's gonna send waves. And imagine if black players were playing for black universities, the white people that would love to go see these same black players. Because let's be honest, man, white people love to see, big black figures just jumping up in the air, and they like to see, salamis, flying and slam dunking, and they like to see all that shit. We know what, white people like to see that. Oh, black people. So, we know how y'all get down. We know how y'all like it. So, imagine what could happen. Imagine what could happen if we take our fucking talent and if we take our brilliance somewhere else, So we got to know the power that we hold. And shouts out to Master P's son. I don't know his name, but shouts out to you. And, it's just a great conversation. It's a great, great thing that he is doing, because when people know the power that they have, it's just like when the Gucci store, everybody was boycotting Gucci. I mean, now we Gucci'd out. The stimulus is out, so we Gucci down to the socks. But, man, if we know the power that we have, we could kill these corporations. They will crumble. And so I just think that the ultimate gift is knowing your worth. Truthfully, knowing your worth. So, man, a lot of good things, a lot of bad things going on in the world. But as long as we stay true to us and we, lean over to one another and, kind of, see how we doing. We got to check on our brother. Be thy brother's keeper, thy sister's keeper. That's the problem. We just act like, fuck it. That ain't my kid. Take a village to, come on now. So, football, man, I'm just done with this shit. Like, I love football, but, you wouldn't have those comments like Brett Favre, saying like he didn't believe Derek Chauvin intended to kill. You wouldn't have stupid motherfuckers like that. And so I really feel like if more black people come together, go to HBCUs, it'll change the dynamic of the NFL too and how they recruit. They got to go to the black colleges now. The money's going to go to the black schools. Be in the black community. Make black people more. This new song, man, it's by a cool artist I had the pleasure of working with. Very talented, goes by the name of Meg, very swaggerlicious. Also, her producer, very cool, very down to earth, very funky, man. Sleepwalker. This new single, amazing. I love it. It's called Swang. Show me. Come on. Daddy, watch me do my. Oh, hey, come on. Watch me do my. Man, I'm about to. They do it better than me. Thanks for catching up with Chris.
Daddy, watch me do my thing. I'ma let my hair swing. Every time I do my thing, every time a bitch do her thing, I'ma let my hair swing. Every time I do my thing, every time a bitch do her thing, I'ma let my hair swing. And I know you want it bad. Trust me, I would be the best you ever had. Cause I can work it, twerk it, pop it like no other. A freaking me, yeah, you have discovered. I like it rough, don't take it easy on me, Pull my hair, smack my ass, fuck me real good. Whips and chains, tie you up, it's a movie. Baby, watch me while I throw that ass back. Zaddy, watch me do my thing. Zaddy, watch me do my thing. Yeah. Zaddy, watch me do my thing. Zaddy, watch me do my thing. I'ma let my hair swing. Every time I do my thing, every time a bitch do her thing, I'ma let my hair swing. Every time I do my thing, every time a bitch do her thing, I'ma let my hair swing. Work that ass, drop that thing. Turn around, I'ma pop that thing. I'ma let my hair swing. Pick it up, do that thing.
Let me go talk
Jump
to him
on
for
it,
a
yeah,
second.
you like that thing. Baby, beat it out the frame.
Want me to beat it out the frame? Tap out, last shot, call game. You know I'm a freak, girl, you know I'm insane. Got a pole in the basement, so you know I'm about to make that ass. I've been peeping for a minute, you've been working out strong. I salute it, I'm a witness, only thing left. Let me get on up in it, I'ma pull your hair hard while I'm deep stroking it. Have you saying